What the fuck is up? It's Mari. I'm gonna tell y'all how I did this one man journey to Miami. I never really even been to Miami like that, so this was interesting. Y'all know I keep it a fucking buck too much. So if I can genuinely name this story time, it'd be probably like a recovering drug addict tries to do a business trip alone in Miami. I laugh out of embarrassment, but this isn't that embarrassing. I've been always very open about my addiction, so when it comes to little like hurdles like this, I like to tell you guys because not a lot of people my age talk about this shit. Not a lot of people my age admit they have a problem. Not a lot of people my age know that they have a problem. So here's some fucking LOL content, but like goddamn Mari, why? You know, type beat. So all I knew was I had to get to Miami for the Fresh and Fit podcast. That was my number one goal. Get there, cheapest route, cheapest fucking sleeping scenario. I booked the Brightline, not sponsored. Brightline, honestly, W. Like I no complaints at all. That shit was so easy. It was so clean. Like it felt like I was just like in an airport going into like a fucking train. Like everything was just, and it wasn't crowded. Like it was, yeah. So I took a bright line from Orlando to Miami. Lots of stops, whatever. I also booked the lowest Airbnb I can find. And in the Airbnb, it said I'd be sharing a space with three other people. Bunk beds, W. I mean, I've heard of shit like this before, and I really didn't mind because, like I said, it was a business trip. I was there for one thing only, and I didn't have my mind on anything else. There was like an inside patio area that was really nice, and then there was like the inside lobby that was really nice. Like there was a lot of places where I can just chill. But it's Mari. She can't just fucking chill. So I end up making a friend, and this friend is telling me about all the raves and shit like that, right? And you guys know I love going to raves in other cities. I love just experiencing them because my degree is event management, and I love being an observer of all these events, you know? So I decide, fuck it. I'm gonna hang out with this person. I just met this person. Why the fuck not? And then this person also has a roommate that is down to just fucking full send tonight. And I don't know why. The thought in my head was, okay, I have to be at this podcast really fucking late. So I'll have time, if anything, to recover, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I start drinking. Of course. And if you're an addict, you know, once you take the first drink, once you take the first whatever, one is too much and a thousand is never enough is a very big quote in addiction, and it's loud. Once I start drinking, it opens the doors to I'll do whatever the fuck. So it's annoying, and that's why I don't drink in the first place. And the my new friends had, I'm Colombian, so what do you think? I'm not a skier, which is hilarious. I've never been a skier. I've never been into uppers because I'm a very anxious girly, but I was drunk, so it clashed. It yin yanged, if you want to fucking say, but fuck that shit. I was up till 1 p.m. and I finally was able to sleep for like 2 hours, knowing I had a podcast that fucking day, knowing that this podcast will call me out if I'm not on point, if I'm not listening, if I'm not fully engaged. And my heart was racing the whole fucking day. I was scared, bro. I mean, I got to experience the Miami rave scene, but I definitely was beating myself up for it because I know I can experience that shit sober. But whatever, that's in the past. So, podcast time. I Uber to wherever the fuck they are in Miami. I get there, very nice building, very luxurious. I'm thinking this is gonna be like a whatever podcast type scenario, but it was a lot more fancy. And when they bring us up, they have a place for the girls to like hang out and talk and stuff. So right there, the nerves were going away because the girls were genuinely nice, but also the girls at the whatever podcast were really nice to me in the beginning too, and we saw how that fucking happened. And then I'm finding out that our guest star is Ray J. I don't know shit about Ray J. Guys, my mom texted me saying that Ray J was our guest star. She saw it as their scheduled like YouTube video, and I didn't know he was gonna be our guest until my mom literally texted me. And I don't know shit about this man other than the Kim Kardashian shit. So I'm like, is this a nice man? Like, who am I about to deal with? You know, like I said, I was just going into this thinking it was going to be like the whatever podcast. I get there, he's late. So we're doing this thing in the back for like their paid subscribers or their paid viewers, and it's like kind of like hang out with the girls before we go live. So we're there sitting there live with them, of course. Like I'm reading the comments and they recognize me from the other podcast, blah blah blah. Once we go live, um, I'm observing Ray J, and I'm not new to the drug community, as you guys can tell. He is bringing out, a Fago, a soda, and I already know what people mix that soda with. And then they have these rules where if we're drinking something, even if it's water, we have to drink it in a solo cup. And he says, "Hey, get me my cup." He doesn't want a solo cup. He wants his cup. In my head, right away, I say, "Yep, it's gonna be a double cup, a double styrofoam cup." There it is. And there we have Ray J mixing his motherfucking scissor right in front of stream. And this motherfucker even says he does the act of falling asleep and says, if this happens, I'm a paid actor. So he already knows he's getting to that point. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, bro. I'm like, this could be me, Because the direction that he's in is the direction that I can easily fall into because his DOC is kind of like similar to mine. And it was sad, honestly. Everyone was cooking him and everyone was making fun of him, but all I saw was just another addict in the room. One of the main reasons I do go on these podcasts is to be able to give a voice for addicts. My addiction is always brought up, whether it's because of my mugshot or my past, it's always brought up, and that's fine because I'm really open with that. And it was just a really fucked scenario right there. Um, I couldn't really say much, obviously, and we are all just kind of going along with Ray J, but like it was sad. If you watch the podcast, it kind of just seems like he just like left randomly, but I watched him leave. I watched him push himself from the chair and I could tell he was too tired to even like be on live. His higher self definitely helped him out right there. Got him out of that situation because it could have been a little worse falling asleep on live and shit like that. It allowed me to reflect though and like just know that celebrities are going through this shit too, and I'm young and I don't have to go through that shit, you know? No disrespect to Ray J, but like that was a little lesson right there. And then once Ray J left, it was all about the girls, and we had probably like a hour long fight of one discussion of two girls just going back and forth. And then at the end of the podcast, which most of you guys don't even see because it's behind a paywall, which I didn't know, is I really did barely get to say anything, but I do get called out for smoking weed. Y'all know I always talk this way, blah 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 blah. The host of the podcast asked me, "Did you smoke weed before this?" And I say yes because I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna like lie the fuck. And right away he starts grilling me, "Stop smoking weed," blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh my god, because don't get me wrong, like that is one of my goals. I don't want to smoke weed. I want to be 100% sober. But where I am in my journey right now, I know for a fact weed has to be here with me. I'm sorry. And it was insane because I don't even have footage of this, but like it was just like, damn, you're on my ass about smoking weed when your guest star was just on this bitch nodding off straight like benzos, opioids, whatever the fuck you want to call them, like downers. Like, I probably understood Ray J to such a deep connection more than everyone in that fucking room, which is like so sad. I just let the host grill me with the fucking weed, whatever. Quit weed. Okay, I got it. I will quit weed, but damn. At the end of the day, that was not the main issue of that episode. And I feel like addiction really should have been brought up in that episode, but it's not my podcast, so it's not my show. I'm not running it. After the podcast, they took us out to eat, which was really nice. They treated us good, and I really do appreciate that. Maybe it's because Ray J pissed him off, or I don't know. But I had to literally check out of my hostel at 11 a.m., and it was already like 5 a.m. by the time the dinner was over, everything. I ended up staying with somebody closer to the Bright Line, so I can just crash there and then go straight to the Bright Line when I wake up. But holy fuck. Like, talk about you can't judge a book by its cover, because y'all were just, everyone was just seeing innocent little old me sitting there at the table, but y'all did not know what fucking night I had. I just wanted to go home. Honestly, yeah, all I gotta say is thank you, Fresh and Fit, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you guys for watching this. And I hope you guys learn from my mistakes. And I hope you guys know that drugs are the devil and they are taking over. If not, they have already taken over. A lot of people want to be in the industry, a lot of people want to experience the industry, but there's a lot of addicts in this world that don't know they're addicts yet until they get in really terrible scenarios. And I am very grateful to have recognized my problems and my addiction at a young age. This is the industry that I want, and this is the industry that I'm going to be in. So I have to make sure I am strong minded about this, and I can't just say yes to a random motherfucker who offers me snow, you know? We're gonna continue to be put in scenarios like this, and we just gotta be aware, observe, like who's really running these places, because we don't want to turn into them dead ass. So yeah, W Miami, I guess. I love my bed. I feel so safe in Orlando.